powerful storm system wreaked havoc across the Southeast U.S., particularly in Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia, leaving behind devastating floods, widespread damage, and a growing death toll.
Well, I don't know how that narrow's making it. My goodness.
This destructive storm brought record-breaking rainfall, with some areas receiving up to 6 inches of rain, causing rivers to overflow, roads to be submerged, and entire neighborhoods to be flooded. In response, Kentucky's emergency teams performed over 1,000 rescues, saving people stranded in flooded homes and vehicles.
This is Hurley, Virginia, February 15th.
Virginia also experienced severe flash flooding. Many other areas, including parts of the Ohio and Tennessee valleys, saw similar amounts of rainfall causing widespread damage. A particularly heartbreaking incident involved the death of a 73-year-old man in Manchester, Kentucky, who was swept away by floodwaters while attempting to exit his vehicle. The heavy rainfall and flooding continued to pose a serious threat, with parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, and West Virginia still under flash flood warnings as of Sunday morning. The situation worsened as rivers reached record-breaking levels, causing widespread evacuations and significant infrastructure damage. In addition to the flooding, the storm system also caused significant damage in Georgia, where a large tree fell on a house in Atlanta during a thunderstorm, killing one person. Thousands of people in Georgia, Alabama, and Virginia were left without power as a result of downed power lines, fallen trees, and flood-related damage.
And if you remember, this is about exactly what happened back in 2021. All of Euclid at this part of the town here is flooded.
The state's transportation system was severely impacted, with numerous roads closed and bridges washed away. In Tennessee, towns like Red Boiling Springs experienced similar levels of flooding, leading to the evacuation of a local nursing home and several rescue operations.
We're stuck. I think some of the road is washed out.
Authorities were forced to evacuate areas along rivers and streams in the Tennessee Valley as water levels continued to rise. At least 413,000 people in Virginia were under direct threat of flooding, according to the National Weather Service.
Guys, here's what it is now. This is what it looks like now. This is an update. It's bad.
In Virginia, the flooding triggered evacuations in towns like Hurley near the West Virginia border, where a flash flood emergency was declared. Governor Glenn Youngkin called in the National Guard and first responders to assist in rescue efforts, with several hundred people evacuated from their homes. In Kentucky, Governor Beshear declared a state of emergency as more than 100 swift water rescues took place. Roads were closed in multiple counties, including in Adair and Simpson counties, where floodwaters had completely submerged streets. In many cases, emergency responders had to rescue stranded drivers.
I worry about the post office being flooded. I worry about Angelina's being flooded. I mean, it's just awful.
There he is.
The storm system's impact extended beyond flooding. Tornado warnings were issued in parts of Mississippi, West Tennessee, and Southeast Arkansas, adding another layer of danger to the already hazardous conditions.
Problem. So I thought I'd send you all a video just to show you that Eastern Kentucky has really been hit with flood.
The National Weather Service issued flash flood emergencies and warnings for several states, including Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Virginia, and West Virginia. This prompted numerous evacuations, particularly in flood-prone regions.
Legacy Bank, hardwood and lumber.
Meanwhile, in Obion County, Tennessee, a levee breach caused rapid flooding, prompting mandatory evacuations and swift water rescues in the town of Reeves. The flooding in many of these areas was so severe that rescue teams had to use boats to access stranded residents and pets.
Okay guys, here's the 115 update, and it's rising very quick. It is over the road right here, just past the 9-off bridge.
Governor Andy Beshear of Kentucky called the event one of the most catastrophic weather events in the state's history, warning that the death toll could continue to rise as floodwaters receded.
What are you doing, honey?
Curly Road, Early Virginia.
As floodwaters receded, authorities remained on high alert, with concerns shifting to the possibility of dangerous snow and ice in the aftermath of the storm. Freezing temperatures were expected to affect parts of the region in the coming days, leading to potential snow and ice hazards.
You can see this liquor store right here is flooded. M&T Liquor here in Paintsville. The baseball fields are flooded. I'm going to zoom in on this pole right here.
Kentucky's transportation system also took a major hit, with several roads, including Kentucky Route 160 in Knott County, closed due to landslides. Local officials warned of additional rock slides and downed trees, which would further complicate travel conditions. In Jackson, the flooding reached such high levels that hospitals and nursing homes had to be evacuated. In some regions, water levels reached historic highs, prompting Kentucky officials to issue warnings about the potential for more flooding in the coming days.
Well, this is Kentucky weather, I guess. This is my holler. And
in Kentucky, record-breaking rainfall caused rivers to overflow, with significant flooding reported in towns like Jackson and Hardin County. Local authorities responded by opening emergency shelters and deploying rescue crews to evacuate residents from affected areas.
got up in Georgia.
And this as now, this may be worse than the 2003 flood that we had. It's all in the roads.
Many residents in Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia are still struggling with the aftermath of the storm. In Kentucky, officials reported that floodwaters had submerged homes, trapping people and vehicles, while rescue teams continued to respond to emergencies.